the evaluation portion of the meeting, beginning with the evaluation of Bob Avalone by Dinesh. Please welcome Dinesh.
Thank you, Brandon. What was the time of Bob's speech?
Bob's speech was 7 minutes exactly.
Nice. All right, we all can agree that it was a very informative speech, and it's a tough topic to talk about. I'm sure about that, and we hear about the news or the stories once in a while if you read the newspaper about the capital punishment that's being carried out in a few states, Texas and a few other southern states especially. So now moving back to the speech itself, I believe that you have met all of the speech objectives. You were supposed to do the research on the topic and talk about the facts and bring some opinions of yours. I think you did a wonderful job there. I personally believe that the way you began your speech and the reason why you chose this speech, the topic for the discussion, for the presentation here today is because of your teacher who used the word vociferous, who was really kind of in favor of the capital punishment, and as Rob Kanzer was saying, that you standing up to it and with one more of your classmate, that's something that was in your mind, and I believe that it was in your mind. You wanted to find out about it more, and you certainly did a good research and talked about all the facts about the capital punishment, the morality part of it, the constitutionality part of it, why back then people thought, okay, this would be a good idea to maintain a civil order in the society. The deterrence, you mentioned that the states which have high capital punishment also have high crime rates, so this is not really working as a deterrence. I would like to put that in the opinion category, not in the fact category. The DNA test and the facts about blacks and whites, and you specifically mentioned about O.J. Simpson's. That also I would like to put in the opinion category. And yeah, your speech was informative, and then you had your own thoughts. It was done very well. Your presence was good. You were smiling all along. You were very calm. Physical appearance was really good. We all know that it was not like, the topic itself didn't call for the kind of speech with the different vocal variety, but you could have used a little bit of vocal variety there. But that, I see that that's your personality. That's my personality too. It's more, someone said that it is more like a TED talk. You don't have to be dramatic, but as long as you convey the message, then it's all right. Yeah, one other thing that I was told at the very beginning was that when you speak here in front of the crowd, no putting the hand in your pocket. So please avoid that at any cost. That's what I was told. So please don't do that. So your question and answers, you handled it very well. You invited questions. There were 2 questions. Mine was third. You couldn't answer. We can talk about it later. You handled it really well. So all in all, your presentation was good. I felt that you covered the objectives really well. Did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Excellent. Next, we have a lead for Al Davis, and she did respond to that theme, so let me introduce her with her response to November. November is not my favorite month in Boston. It's better than January or February or March, that's for sure. So we agreed, because I said January was my least favorite. At least it doesn't snow. Well, most of the time. But it's time to put my garden to bed, a sad task in terms of flora around us. Although the leaves are still sometimes on the trees, and yes, the deciduous trees leaves are lovely colors before they fall. I think I have to shorten. She gave me like a paragraph, so I'm going to introduce her right now. Please welcome my baby.
He left out my hostility toward these stupid, disgusting bald moms. in
Oh,
Bolton.
okay.
Hate them. Okay. Al, I think that was a really good speech. It was very smooth, as always. You hardly use notes at all. I really love when you talk about your life and tell people stuff about yourself that most people probably don't know. I liked your comment about people saying you have no reason to have an issue with food and weight, because that's like saying to someone who's not drinking, who's an alcoholic, well, you couldn't possibly have an issue with alcohol without knowing. I think that's useful for people to hear. I thought your new and you did select new and useful information for presentation to the audience, and you gave a lot of specifics. I liked all of what you said about different kinds of food, although I'm not sure everyone would be so happy with broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. You certainly presented the information in a way that could help people motivate the audience to learn, and would help motivate people to do something different with their diet. I like that you gave a specific example of a program that you went to that was helpful to you and I had never heard of. So that was extremely useful. Very strong ending. It came out, it was very crisp and strong. You looked very comfortable in talking, as you always do. I didn't, here I am going, you didn't use any filler words, You used words precisely. I don't feel like you used words vividly because there was nothing very vivid to be saying about what you were saying. I thought the way you incorporated the fact that you weren't going to use fallow was very clever. You totally spoke with enthusiasm and sincerity, because it's obviously something very important to you, and people were interested, so I'm thinking we might get some people to change how they're eating. Your voice was very easily heard, and it was easy to listen to. Not particularly a lot of vocal variety, but same thing that Bob said. I don't think we don't really need it, because you were really trying to inform us and give us a lot of information. Your delivery was completely free of distracting mannerisms. You were just out there giving the information, and your gestures and facial movements were natural and purposeful and spontaneous. And I thought you related the new information really clearly, and your articulation was excellent. Sometimes people give a speech and they have information you actually want to get, and you can't understand what they're saying. But you did a great job with that. So I know people always say I'm supposed to criticize, but I don't know what I would change, because I thought it was an excellent speech. So congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you.